Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be showing you guys how to make a voice channel activity tracking system as well as a leaderboard. Alright, so we're going to use MongoDB, so make sure to connect your project to a database. So if you don't know what MongoDB is or you haven't connected to MongoDB yet, you see a card that you can click on the top right of the screen. Just click on that and just set up MongoDB real quick. And also for your information, I'm using Discord.js version 13, but don't worry, I'll explain what to change if you're using Discord.js version 12. Alright, the first file you need to locate is index.js. So you want to find for your client declaration. Mine is over here. Alright. So the thing we're going to focus on is intents. So make sure that if you're using version 13, make sure that you have guild voice states in the intents array. If you're using version 12, make sure it's intents.all. Alright, the next thing you want to do is you want to install this DJS voice package. So all you need to do is npm install, and then in here you're just gonna write djs/voice. Alright, so I have documentation. Let me just pull it up. Alright, so this is the DJS voice. So just hit enter or return if you're on Mac, and then you should install this package instantly. Alright, next thing you want to do is you want to create a event. The event that we're going to use is the voice state update event. So if you don't have an event handler, I highly recommend you to get one. So if you should see a card, and then you just click on that, and then you can get a event handler. Alright, or else you can just do it in index.js, no worries. So in here, I'm just going to create a new event handler. A new event called voice state update.js. Alright. In here, we're just going to do client. Let me see, auto imports. Yep, auto imports client on. Okay, in here, client on, we're just going to do voice state update. So there will be two parameters, which is the old state as well as the new state. Okay, just create this event. Oh, before that, we actually need to create a client. So just exit out of the events and let's just create a new folder. If you have the client folder, you can do it in there, or else you can just create a new folder called client. In client, you're just going to create a new file called voice client.js. Alright, in here, we're going to import the voice client from DJS voice. So we can do that by const clear brackets equals require, and then we can do DJS voice. Okay. In here, we're just going to do voice client. As you can see, it's a class. And then next, we're going to require client. So const client equals require. And then we're just going to do / index.js. Perfect. Next, we're going to get the Mongo URL string. Mongo URI, what you want to call it. So when you're connected to MongoDB, you get the string. If you watch the MongoDB tutorial, so just get that string. I have it in config.json right over here, so I'm not gonna open it. Alright, so it's in my config.json. Require config.json. Okay, so it's my Mongo string. Don't worry about it. Okay. So we're just gonna define a new variable. We're just gonna call it voice client with the v lowercase, and then we can do equals to new voice client, and there's a few options. So let me just open a documentation so you can see that what's going on. Okay, so if I click on voice client, and you can see constructor. Okay, as you can see the options, there are voice client options. Okay, so allow bots. If you want to allow bots, you can just make it true. If you want, this is where you pass in the client, your Discord client. Here is, if you want to check if someone joined a voice channel, you'll log it in the console. You can just turn this on. Most probably you wouldn't turn this on, but I will turn it on just for the sake of the video. And this is your connection string. So pretty simple. We're just going to do allow bots. I don't want bots to get saved near my database, so I'm just going to put false. Next will be client. It's already defined client, so it's the same thing with this. Let me just do that. Why not? Debug. Okay, you can make it false, but I'm just going to make it true just for the sake of the video. And then Mongoose connection string will be Mongo. Okay, in your case, you're just gonna pass in your Mongoose connection string in here. So you're just gonna do something like this, and then your string is here. Alright, perfect. Okay, once you're done with that, we're just gonna do module.exports equals to voice client. Okay, so let's go back to the event that we created earlier, the voice state of the event, and then we're gonna require the voice client. We can do that by doing const voice client equals require, and then we can do dot slash client, and then slash, and then voice client. Okay, so that gives us the voice client. So in here, we can just do voice client dot start listener. Okay, and then we can just pass in old state in here, comma, new state. Okay, let me just open the docs again. So as you can see here, if I go back to the docs, if I go to the start listener, where it's start listener over here, you can see start listener is taking the old state and the new state, which is old state and the new state. Alright, so yeah, that should be it for the voice state. So every time when someone joins a voice channel or leaves a voice channel, it's gonna run through this code over here, which will interact with the database for you, so you don't need to code anything. So this is basically it. Okay, if you want it to be only in a guild, simply just do if old state dot guild dot id is equals to something, or else return. Okay. Instead of doing this, you must do this. Alright. So if you want it to work in only a single guild, you can just do this. Alright. Okay, you can implement whatever logic you want in here. Alright, so the command that we're going to create is a leaderboard command because I think it's the easiest. You can check out the docs for the other commands. So let me just create a new category called voice. Okay, in here, I'm just going to do leaderboard.js. Okay, let me just do DJS. In here, leaderboard. Okay, perfect. So, let me just open the docs again. Let me just explain it from the docs. It's way easier that way. So this is a function from voice client as well. It's a method, I mean. So, we're just gonna call generate leaderboard, and then as you can see here, it returns a message embed. So it's not gonna automatically send the embed for us. We need to take the embed and then we need to send it ourselves. So, we can go in here. Let me just go to Visual Studio Code. Okay, and then we can just do const embed equals to await voice client dot generate leaderboard, and then we can just pass in message in here. Okay, there's a few properties. Let me show you some properties. Okay, so you can choose a color if you want a color, or else it's just going to be random. Message is a required property, and thumbnail you can add your guild thumbnail or whatever you want. Title, which is the embed title, and then top, which is if you want top 10, top 15 in the leaderboard, you can just pass it in here. So I'm not going to use much. I'm just going to use message, and then I want the top 10, so I can just top and then 10. All right, so we can just do if, and then we can do message.channel.send. Alright, so if you're using version 12, you're just going to do message.channel.send, and then embed, you're just going to pass in embed like that. But if you're using version 13, you need to do embeds and pass it embed in like that. Alright, as you can see here, the bot is now currently on. So let's just test it out. If I join one of the channels, and then it should log that I have joined the channel in here. Alright, perfect. So as you can see here, Recon has joined a voice channel. So let me just wait for like a few seconds. Alright, so if I leave, it's gonna say that Recon has left a voice channel, 11 seconds for Recon. So let's just try to run the command, exclamation mark leaderboard. Okay, as you can see here, 42 seconds. So this will log if you turn on debug. If you turn off debug, the console is gonna be clean. So as you can see here, 42 seconds, and then the reason that it's 42 seconds is because I was testing it earlier. That's why it's adding from the previous numbers. So let me just join the voice channel for another 5 seconds to actually show you that it actually works. So let me just go to music again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I leave the channel. Okay, if I go to leader, okay, that's 8 seconds. I don't know how to count, but leaderboard, okay, it should show 50 seconds. So yeah, that is it. Okay, this is just a few functions, few methods, I mean, that I'm showing you guys. As you can see here, there are many more methods. So just click on here, and then you can see all of these. Not this. Generate a leaderboard. You can generate a leaderboard. You can also get user data. So let me just show you user data. Open link in new tab. Okay, user data. They have guild, the user, the position, which is if you are in number 1, you get a number 1. It's basically it's very simple. All right, and a reset is if you want to reset the whole database, you want to reset the leaderboard, you want to reset all the time, just run voice client dot reset, and you reset everything. Set time, you can set okay, so let me just try that command, because why not? We just do the code, and then let me just create a set time in here, set time .js, and then we can just run exclamation mark DJS, and then we can just do set time. What's going on? Set time, and then in here we can just do voice client dot set time. Alright, as you can see here, the first one is message, so you can just pass a message in here. Next one will be user, which is message author, which is yourself. And then time, we can just do args0. We can just do plus args0. So this time is in milliseconds, so make sure it's in milliseconds. Okay, so let's just try this out. Okay, so if you run set time, okay, so it's in milliseconds, so it's gonna be, let me just set this. Okay, it should set already, and then if I try to run leaderboard again, as you can see here, it changed my 1 to 1 day. So if I change my if I change my time, what am I even doing? Set time. Let me just make 60 seconds, which is a minute. Okay. And then if I run leaderboard again, it should show 1 minute. So yeah, it's that simple. There's tons and tons of other functions you can try. Like sort user is basically getting all of the data. You can make your own leaderboard, but if you don't know how, you can just use the general leaderboard function. And then start listener is what I showed you earlier. So yeah, that should conclude today's video on the voice tracking system, activity tracking system, whatever you want to call it. If you want to watch more Discord.js tutorials, you see a playlist and click on. Just click on that. There's tons of tutorials. You will never regret watching it. Other than that, have a nice day. See you in the next video. Bye.